Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to mash in yesterday's video. We lost our internet and power for a little bit yesterday, so it didn't get uploaded, but I'll just mash it into today's. Today, we start a new chapter. Mom moves in, her chickens are there, and a little bit of management because she's got too many chickens back at the old place. Anyway, time to start culling them. Let's get to it. You know, after 3 weeks of rain, just got to show that blue sky. To those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, we're in the Philippines this year. But in 2021, I made the challenge. Sandals and shorts the whole winter. I did it.
I'm videoing it.
The lack of work on your behalf is...
Well, I don't need to do exercise, you do.
Huh.
Why don't you just go barefoot? Oh, the dog. Yes, come here. Let's play. Yes, yes. Arr, arr, arr. Arr, arr, arr. Arr, arr. Arr. Oh, it's cold. Okay, that's enough because it's very cold.
The finishing touches on the smooth beams up there. Guys are cutting it in with the waterproofing. Now that is just purely for aesthetics, guys. Keep the continuity going through. Down this wall, they will just roll this. We're not worried about the finish on this year, guys. So that's how this is going to finish out. It's just a blank wall. Again, from our vantage point, visually and aesthetically, not for Lynn. She could have this whole thing just raw AAC for her perspective. It's all about having a roof over the head, right? But for me, you know, get this aesthetics done. And I'm giving you a little bit of a view of the front of the house, but I'm not giving you the whole thing. Ha ha ha! I'm not gonna do it. I'm looking forward to having Lynn on the deck here and wandering around, and she can be in a bikini and no, not that. Okay, so showing this way, that ceiling is supposed to start tomorrow. And that is good. They can start in the bedroom, which is what we want first, and then we can get that insulation in there and get it tucked up to the ceiling, because in this area we won't be insulating, of course, outside, so it'll have to tuck up to the ceiling. Okay, that's giving you an update. The soffit material hasn't arrived yet. That's fine. Get the inside done, and I am ready to rock and roll here. We are ready to start our other deck. We will do exactly the same. Coming up 2 blocks with holes in it, and then going up a similar height, although we are going to leave that a little bit open from the standpoint of how much light are we getting on the back deck from the covered court. We don't want too much light. I find LED lights to be extremely offensive to the eyes. They're a narrow wavelength. Our eyes were never meant to see narrow wavelength. At least with incandescent bulbs, they went from heat to visible light. So it's not a narrow wavelength, although evening light never was beyond the hues of fire. And I'll drop all that subject now. The best laid plans sometimes are just a fantasy. Lynn's mom and Lynn ultimately said, metal, no bamboo. That's for the privacy fence, guys. We'd rather have just the same all the way through it. Okay, Victor is on the course. We're going up 180, and then tomorrow we'll determine whether or not we're going to go another block higher or not. And then the dirty kitchen is going to go right where I'm standing. You can see a water outlet there. It's going to be handy to be on both sides. The drain will go here, and we have electric just in case they want it. Lynn priced out a countertop, stone, to go in across here, and some AAC will be used to build a dirty kitchen. We have it, we'll use it. Okay, no real updates inside here. Tai Rebecca is back. He's doing all the weeding out front again. And I think we've come to realize what his situation is. He holds on to his money for a long time, guys. A long time. So anyway, I guess he hit the wall and needed some work. So we said, please come on over. This section of driveway from me back to the road is encouraging because this is our water table here. This is the lowest part of the land. This is where those frogs are hanging out. But even with all those torrential rains we had, this road is holding together pretty darn good. Got a little bit of mashing in here, but not too bad, all things considered. So that gives me encouragement for the section of driveway in front of the car, which was only done this year. The water table, like I say, has dropped, so I'm going to get these guys to start bailing some of these locations and toss the water to the other side. They may fill up again, but we've, a couple of holes back there were actually dry, so it's sort of hit and miss on where the water table wants to sit. Okay, so the fence is all getting about maybe a third of the way, maybe a little over a third of the way down. We're only doing a very small course of hollow block here, guys. It won't be very significant at all. The pins are to weld onto the bottom of the matting, and then along the top, we've got to figure something out where we can make a little hook and then put the rebar in there and then tie the hook back together. The barbed wire doesn't have, it's not the metal that you could weld onto this, right? I'm not sure what kind of metal it is, to be honest with you. Even these guys over here standing there going, me first, me first. Oh yeah, there she goes talking to the chickens again. Because of course they understand Filipino and English, right? Okay, the next guys. These are much younger. So if they were cows, you'd call them yearlings. There's a shelf there, just hang it along there. Whoa. A little bit more anxious, these ones. Just loop it over the shelf, Lynn. Just loop it around the shelf. There you go. Great. And Joseph is getting ready for the hinges here. This old carcass wants to ask you, is it really cheaper in the Philippines or is it cheaper back home? Only if you let it be. You know what happens? Guys get a twinkle in their eyes here. They do. So they avoid the the fancy new Western phone. You know, we would never consider it Oppo. We would never consider a Realme phone, but you do, and you run out and you grab one. Yay! And then you see something else, and that phone cost you, let's round it out and say 10,000 pesos. And then you see the next little gadget. Oh, look, the TVs aren't that bad. But if I go to a 60-inch, you know, that's what I would pay for a 30-inch. So I'll get it here. Ba-dum. And you blow through the money so fast. So fast. And so many foreigners say, wow, it's sure not cheap here. Well, you would never have done that in your native country anyway. You moved here to get a better life, but you're doing it by spending money. Knock it off. Short and simple message today, guys. Go slow. Okay, give yourself 1 day a week, say to go bar hopping or something like that, but set yourself a budget. None of your buddies will care whether you end up drinking 50 beer or 3. None of them will care as long as you're with them, enjoying yourself and having a good time. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, guys. So think about it the next time you decide you're going to go out and buy a cell phone. The guys are getting the ceiling done in here. Good, good, good. And we will get a lot of contact cement and start gluing this all down. Remember, guys, we're going to leave the heat up in the attic area. We have solar. We're trying new ones. The first solar ventilation fans that we bought were garbage. They came with a panel that was about 2 inches by 2 inches. I'm under exaggerating. Anyway, that needs to curl up there, so we trap all the heat in that zone, and then we will pull it out on either end of the gables. Okay, let's go see how the fence is coming. Okay, I see what they did. They just dug holes beside it that were deeper than where the postie went in, and the water settled down there. Good, good, good. I don't know how many are boy chicks and how many are girl chicks. My mom loves using the term boy chick. Later, gators.